Hello, welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Just solo today. Mr. Brody has the day off, and Miss Mags also. Going to be doing this game from May 18th of 1967. It's going to be a game between the Baltimore Orioles and the Washington Senators. I almost said Nationals. Got a kind of interesting matchup here as the two starters, Pete Reichart for the Baltimore Orioles and Frank Bertana for the Washington Senators, were actually on the opposite teams facing each other. So Bertana was actually pitching for the Orioles on this day, and and Reichart for the Senators. So the teams made a trade. I don't know. I'm not sure if they were traded for each other or not. But the two starters were on opposite teams. So this should be an interesting matchup. So without further ado, we'll get this game underway. So the two teams originally came into this schedule at 13-14 and 13-15. One game under 500 for Baltimore, and two games under 500 for the Senators. And the Baltimore Orioles are performing slightly better than that, and the Washington Senators are 3 games behind that. So that is the story between the two teams here. The pitching matchups were nothing special, but I just thought these two teams were both due, and they were facing each other. So we decided to go with this one for the May 18th version of the 50th anniversary of the Impossible Dream season. So anyway, let's get this game underway for the Washington I keep saying Nationals. Senators. Frank Bertana will be pitching, and he's got a record of no record actually on the season. An ERA of 9, 5 innings pitched, 8 hits allowed, 2 Ks and 2 walks. So he's made 1 start, I believe, which he had no decision. And the lineup for the visiting Baltimore Orioles would be as follows: Luis Aparicio, the shortstop, bats first. Kurt Blefary, the left fielder, bats second. Paul Blair is the center fielder, batting third. Batting cleanup is the Hall of Famer Frank Robinson. Batting fifth is another Hall of Famer, Brooks Robinson, at third base. Batting sixth is the first baseman, Boog Powell. Batting seventh is Davey Johnson, the second baseman. Batting eighth is Andy Etchebarren behind the plate. And on the mound, batting ninth is Pete Reichart. So that's your lineup for the visiting Baltimore Orioles. So let's get this game underway. So Bertana looks in for the sign from Camilli. Here's the windup and the pitch. And he will ground out to second for out number 1. Next up is Kurt Blefary. And I didn't give Aparicio's average. We'll give it to that next time. Blefary's hitting 171 with a homer and 11 runs batted in. And he will fly out to Peterson and right for out number 2. Next up will be Paul Blair. Struggling a bit on the season, only hitting 235, an actual 293 hitter, with just 1 homer and 9 runs batted in. So he'll ground out the first for out number 3. So after 1/2, no score. The Orioles nothing, and the Nationals coming up. So for your hometown Washington Senators, it will be Tim Cullen, the second baseman, batting first. Hank Allen is the center fielder, batting second. Frank Howard, the left fielder, batting third. Cap Peterson, the right fielder, batting cleanup. Mike Epstein is getting a start today at first base, batting fifth. Batting sixth, actually it was originally Ken Harrelson, but he is not on the team, on the roster anyway. Batting sixth will be Ken McMullen, the third baseman. Batting seventh is Doug Camilli behind the plate. The shortstop, Ed Brinkman, bats eighth. And on the mound, batting ninth, will be Frank Bertana. So Pete Reichart comes into the game with no record also, with a 2.25 ERA and 24 innings pitched. I think he's had some relief appearances here too. So, all right, so that's your starting pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles. It's going to be a ballpark check here. So it'll be a fly out to Blair in center for out number 1. And again, I didn't give Cullen's numbers. Hank Allen is up second now with 1 down. He's hitting .208 with 2 runs batted in. And he'll ground out to short for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down. Brings up Frank Howard. He's hitting .296 with 4 homers and 19 runs batted in. Hit 36 homers for the actual season. Definitely one you want to have him up if you're the opposing team with nobody on base. 2-2. And he will strike out. So after 1 full, no score. Frank Robinson up now for the Orioles. He's hitting .278 with 3 homers and 6 runs batted in. A .311 hitter with 30 homers for the season. Bertano looks in for the sign from Camilli. Here's the windup in the pitch. And he will ground out to third for out number 1. Brooks Robinson up now, hitting .318 for the season with 7 homers and 23 runs batted in, so off to a good start for him. 6-4. So he will ground out to Cullen at second, over to Epstein for out number 2. Next up, Boog Powell, struggling on the season, hitting just .190 with 2 homers and 6 runs batted in. And it'll be a foul ball. And he will draw a 2-out walk. So the first base runner for either team as Powell reaches. So next up will be Davey Johnson, hitting .267 with a homer and 6 runs batted in. And it'll be a ballpark check at DC Stadium. And it'll be a base hit for Johnson. And Powell would motor his way on to third, so runners at the corners with 2 down. So the Orioles have a little 2-out rally going, trying to get the first run on the board. Andy Etchebarren up now. He's been struggling, hitting just .164 with a homer and 6 runs batted in. It's going to be a range play at DC Stadium, so we'll see who it's on. And it's going to be a base hit, so the Etchebarren will get himself an RBI single as Powell comes in to score. Oh, actually, no. My bad, actually. It's going to be a range check. I forgot about that. So it will be a successful range check, and Allen prevents a run from coming home. So the Orioles do not score after a great catch by Allen. So after 1.5, still no score. So it'll be Peterson, Epstein, and McMullen up for the Senators. Peterson's hitting .234 with a homer and 5 runs batted in. And he'll ground out to Aparicio for out number 1. Next up, Mike Epstein, struggling on the season, and just 25 at-bats, hitting just a .120 with a homer and 2 runs batted in. Reichart looks in for the sign from Etchebarren. Here's the windup in the pitch. And Epstein will strike out. Called third strike. So 2 down now for McMullen, the third baseman. McMullen's hitting .283 with 3 homers and 19 runs batted in. So only hit .245 on the actual season, so hitting about 40 points above his average. Now a month and a half into the season. And he avoids the strikeout there. And he'll fly out to left field for the out number 3. All right, Reichart will come up now for the Orioles. Reichart is got 1 hit and 8 at bats, one for $125 with 1 run batted in. We get range play at DC Stadium. And he's going to get himself a hit, as Peterson is unable to get to it. Drop in front of him. So Reichard is on with a single to lead off the top of the third. Next up, Aparicio, now top of the order. He's 0 for 1 on the day, and they're going to go with a hit and run. And they cannot attempt a hit and run as it's the pitcher on first. So he just narrowly misses getting hit by the pitch and fights it off for a flyout to Howard in left field. So 1 down now as Reichard has the hold at first. It'll bring up Blefary. Blefary's 0 for 1 on the day.
He rocks one to right center field. That'll shoot the gap and go to the wall. And one hops the wall.
And he's going to have himself a double. And Reichard's going to try to score, and he's going to be thrown out by Allen. So a great throw by Allen to Camilli. Guns him out at home.
You're out.
And on the throw, Blefary will advance to third. But the run is cut down, and a great play by Allen. So 2 down now with a runner on third. Paul Blair up now. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And he's going to pop one up the third for out number 3. So the Orioles threaten but do not score, and a great play by Allen, preventing the run from scoring. And we head to the bottom of the third with still no score. Nationals up now to be Camilli, Brinkman, and Bertena, the bottom of third of the order. Nationals. Senators still looking for their first hit of the day, of the game. Ooh, and we have a possible home run here. Camilli has a 55% chance here, so 1 through 11 will be a homer. And it is not going to be a home run. Instead, it's going to be a grounder to Aparicio at short for out number 1. So the Senators had the chance to get on the board there. So Brinkman up now. Brinkman's hitting .282 with 7 runs batted in, hitting about 100 points above his season average. And he will strike out for out number 2. It'll bring up Bertena. Bertena's 1 for 2 on the season with a run scored. And he strikes out to end the inning. So 1, 2, 3 go the Senators in the third. So after 3 full, still no score. Frank Robinson will lead it off. It'll be Robinson, and Powell, the heart of the order for the Orioles. And this is going to be a no-doubter as Robinson takes Bertena deep to left field. So Frank Robinson puts the Orioles on the board. All right, that'll bring up Brooks Robinson, 0 for 1 in the day. And he'll ground out to Cullen at second for out number 1. Powell up now, walked his first time up. And was gunned out at the plate by Allen, trying to score. Actually, it wasn't him. I'm sorry. I think it was Reichard that was gunned down. It wasn't Powell. So it'll be a ground ball hit to Brinkman over to Epstein for out number 2. So Davey Johnson up now. Singled his first time up. I think it was a single. And he's going to ground out to Brinkman at short. And that'll do it. But the Orioles get on the board on the solo home run by Frank Robinson. And after 3.5, lead at 1-0. So top of the order, Cullen will lead it off for the Senators. He is 0 for 1 in the day. And he'll fly out to Blair in center for out number 1. Brings up Allen, who gunned down Reichart, trying to score to put the Orioles on the board at the time. But the Orioles would later score on Robinson's home run. Allen up is 0 for 1 on the day. And he has a chance. No, it's not going to work, as Allen had a chance to take him deep there. Instead, it just goes. It's a deep fly ball to Blair, who makes the catch for out number 2. That'll bring up Howard, who struck out his first time up. And this time he avoids the strikeout. And instead grounds out weakly to Aparicio at short over to Powell. And the Senators go 1-2-3 in the 4th. Top of the 5th now. It'll be Echeverria, Reichart, and Aparicio. Echeverria's 0 for 1 in the day. This time he draws a walk. So leadoff walk for the Orioles. That'll bring up Reichart, and we're going to have Reichart sacrifice since he is the pitcher. And he has a 3 bunt rating, so try to get Echeverria over to second in the scoring position. And it'll be a successful bunt for Reichart. So runner in scoring position now for Aparicio, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Chance for the Orioles to add to their lead here. And he'll ground out to Brinkman as the runner holds. So 2 outs now for Blefary, who had himself a double his first time up. And I think this is where Reichart was gunned down on the double by Blefary. So 6-2. It's going to be a walk to Blefary, as Bertena has seen the pitch around him a bit. It'll bring up Blair, who's 0 for 2. And it's going to be a wild pitch on Bertena. Runners will move up. So now 2 runners in scoring position. So Blair with a chance to get a couple RBIs here. And this will be a flyout, so the EG does not take effect. So instead he flies out to Howard for out number 3. So the Orioles threaten once again and do not score, and maintain their 1-0 lead. Peterson up now 0 for 1 in the day. It'll be Peterson, Epstein, and McCullen for the Senators, trying to get their first hit of the day. Oh. And they will in grand fashion as Peterson goes deep. So Peterson hits his 2nd home run of the season to tie the game at 1. That'll bring up Epstein. Epstein struck out his first time up. And he'll strike out again. So 1 down in the bottom of the 5th. Brings up McMullen, who is 0 for 1 in the day. So the Senators break up the no-hitter and the shutout, all with 1 swing of the bat by Cap Peterson. And he'll ground out to Powell at first for out number 2. He'll take it himself. Brings up Camilli 0 for 1. And it's going to be a range play. And it'll be a range play on Aparicio, who's a 2 range, so does not have much range, is unable to get to that one. So it'll be a 2-out base knock for Camilli. Brinkman's up now, struck out his first time up. And he'll pop up to Powell at first. He'll make the catch for out number 3. But the Senators tie it up on the solo home run by Peterson. And after 5 full, it's a 1-1 tie. So Frank Robinson, who hit a home run his first time up, will be up now for the... Oh, sorry. Was it his first? No, his 2nd time up. This time he walks as As Bertano was careful with him this time. Didn't give him anything good to hit there. So it brings up Brooke Robinson, 0 for 2 on the day. And he'll walk, so back-to-back walks to start the 6th inning for the Orioles. So go ahead runners in scoring position now for Powell, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. And this could be his last batter. His action in the Washington pen. So it's going to be 3-6, which error check here. 2-2. And Howard is able to handle this one for the first out of the 6th inning. So the Senators are playing back for 2. Dave Johnson 1 for 2 on the day. As it looks like they're going to let him pitch to one more batter, see if he can get out of this. And it's going to be a base hit as Robinson comes around from second. He was off on the pitch with 2 down. And that is going to be it for Bertana as he goes just 5 and a third innings, allowing 2 runs, responsible for both base runners there. So he can lose it, but cannot win it. So Humphreys will come in for the Senators in relief. Humphreys is having a fine season so far with 0-1 record with 1 save, but with just a 1.95 ERA in 27 2/3 innings. 19 hits allowed, 8 strikeouts, and 8 walks. So he'll face Echeverria, Reichart, and Aparicio. Trying to keep it a 1-run game. And he strikes out Echeverria for out number 1. Brings up Reichart. And are we going to leave Reichart in or not? Let's see. Yeah, he's still got a lot of life in him. We're gonna leave him in. Pitching a fine game. So Reichart will be hitting away here. Could take a chance to try to add to our lead, but we're going to leave him in. And he'll ground out back to the pitcher for out number 3. So interesting strategy there as they had an opportunity to score more runs but decided to leave the pitcher in anyway. Let's see if it pays off for the Orioles. Reichardt's allowed just 2 hits. So we'll see. 6-2. Actually, we're going to have to pinch hit. I think we're going to leave the pitcher in here. Humphreys did have 74 at-bats. So back then they let the pitchers hit for themselves a lot of the times. So we're going to let Humphreys hit for himself. And he'll ground out to Johnson at short at second for out number 1. Then we get top of the order Cullen, 0 for 2 on the day. Still early, it's only the 6th inning, so a little later on they might have pulled the pitcher. So Cullen will get himself a hit. So 1 out base runner. And Reichart will try to pick him off, and he gets back safely. So Allen up now, 0 for 2 on the day. And he's going to ground 1 to third. And they're going to go for 2nd to 1. But will not get the double play as Allen beats the relay. So 2 down now with a runner on first for Frank Howard. He could give the Senators a lead with 1 swing of the bat. And they throw over to first. And the throw is going to go astray as Allen's going to advance to second on the throwing error by Reichart. So runner now in scoring position. So a single will tie the game. Most likely. It's going to be a range play again at the stadium. This time Robinson's able to get to it. He is an excellent fielding third baseman, Gold Glover. He's able to get to it and end the inning. So we head to the top of the second with the Orioles 2 and the Senators 1. Top of the order, Aparicio will lead it off for the O's. Humphreys back on the hill. And it's going to be a range play, so 2-2. And it's going to be a single. Oh, it's not going to be actually. I forgot it was a range play. So Howard will get to this one. Doesn't get to much, but does get to this one. So 1 down in the top of the 7th. Going to bring up Bleffery, who's 1 for 2 with a double. And he's going to ground out to third for out number 2. So 2 down now in the Orioles 7th for Blair. Hitless on the day, 0 for 3. Fouls run off. And he's going to get one to possibly hit. As no, Humphreys has not let up many home runs to righties anyway. So he will not get a hold on here, but instead drops in a single. So a 2-out single for the Orioles brings up Robinson. 1 for 2 with a solo home run. And he'll ground out to short to out number 3. So 7th inning stretch time as the Orioles lead the Senators 2-1. So Peterson will lead it off for the Senators. He hit a solo home run for the only run of the day for the Senators thus far. 1 for 2 on the day. And Robinson will make another great play as he gets to this one. So there'll be 1 down in the bottom of the 7th. Brings up Epstein. Struck out both times he's been up. And he'll strike out for a 3rd time today. So getting a start today is not able to do much with it so far. So Reichardt's 6K of the day. Has not walked a batter yet. It'll be McMullen 0 for 2. And that'll be a foul ball. And he will strike out. So McMullen hitless on the day, 0 for 3. Brings up Brooke Robinson, 0 for 2, but did reach on a walk. And Peterson is unable to get to this one. And Robinson will have himself a leadoff double. So Orioles looking to add to their 1-run lead. Get some insurance runs here. Brings up Powell for 2 with a walk. And Powell strikes out. So to bring up Davey Johnson, who's having a good day. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Trying to get his 2nd RBI of the day. And Brinkman's able to get to this one. Excellent fielding shortstop. Looks the runner back. Throws over to first for out number 1. Oh, sorry, out number 2. So that'll bring up Etchebarren. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Single would most likely add another run, especially with 2 outs here. Robinson, a decent runner at 4. And that's going to be a base hit. So Robinson will score. So Etchebarren gets himself an RBI single to add to the Oriole lead. And Etchebarren is caught in a rundown, but the run does come home. And Etchebarren will be thrown out. But the Orioles add another to the lead and head to the bottom of the 8th with a 2-run Oriole lead now. Reichard back on the hill. So the decision to leave Reichard in has proved to be a good management decision here, as Reichard continues to hold the Senators to just 1 run on 3 hits. Camilliup now has 1 of those 3 hits. He's 1 for 2.
fly ball left field.
And Bleffery will make the range play there. He'll get
Really good play.
above average range. So 1 down in the bottom of the 8th. So that'll bring up Ed Brinkman, 0 for 2. And he's going to get a 1-out walk. And the Orioles will pinch hit. The Senators will pinch hit. Let's see who they're going to bring in. See, the Valentine or King they use. I think I'm going to use Valentine. Jim King is a lefty, just a 175 hitter, but Valentine's a switch hitter too. 234 hitter with some pop. So we're going to bring in Valentine, the pinch hit for Humphreys. Tying run is at the plate now with 1 down. We'll leave Reichard in the pitch to 4-6. And he'll get himself a base hit. And I think that's going to be it for Reichard, as he's going to come out of the game. And let's see. Let's see what we're going to bring in here. We're going to bring in Eddie Watt. Eddie Watt's going to come in. Watt comes into the game. Has not allowed an earned run yet. He has 4 saves, 10 innings pitched, just 6 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. On to face Cullen with the runners at the corners and 1 down. Orioles playing back, ready to concede the run. And he'll fly out to right. And looks like it's not deep enough to score Brinkman. They're not going to test it there. Oh, actually, they are going to test it. And he's going to be thrown out. So lead runner is thrown out. So Brinkman is attempting to score. But he gets thrown out. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. Sacrifice fly. So how do you do that? Oh, I must have just hit. All right, let's try that again here. Undo that one. Yes, he should have gotten thrown out there. Sometimes with this game, you don't know exactly what to hit, whether you hit. Sometimes you have to manually advance the runners, but we're going to do it again. So it is a fly ball to right. So we'll just go with. No, we'll avoid that strikeout because it wasn't a strikeout. And 3-4. So we're going to go with the F9 is what it was. And again, it's the same type of thing. But this time it did show the lead runner getting thrown out. So we're going to actually throw him out. Gets thrown out, going home. And that will end the inning.
Remember to get your copy of the souvenir program.
So the Senators gamble, and it does not prove fruitful as the Senator as another gun down by Peterson this time. So both outfielders, 2 of the 3 outfielders have thrown out runners at home for the Orioles. So the Orioles defense is definitely helping them today. And let's see who we're going to use for a reliever here as we head to the top of the 9th. So try to keep it a 2-run game. And we're going to bring in Casey Cox. Will come in. And all right. So Cox comes in, top of the 9th. Cox comes in with a 3-1 record, 2.07 ERA in 2/3 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. So we will keep. Yeah, we're going to pinch hit for Wyatt. See who we're going to bring in here. Sam Bowens will come in to pinch hit as he was used in the actual game. So Bowens comes in, hitless in 13 at-bats. So he'll lead it off for the Orioles here on the top of the 9th. And he gets himself his first hit of the season. So the Orioles get a leadoff single here in the 9th. Leadoff runner is on. looking to get some more insurance. Aparicio up now. He's hitless on the day, 0 for 4. And he'll ground out to second. To short. Looks like they're just going to go to first as the ball was hit pretty slowly. So he will advance to second. So runner in scoring position now with 1 down for Blefary, who's 1 for 3 with a double. And he'll ground out back to the pitcher. Cox goes for the short over to Epstein at first. So 2 down now with a runner in third. Well, Paul Blair at 1 for 4. And he'll get hit by a pitch. That'll put runners at the corners for the dangerous Frank Robinson. Already homered once today. And it looks like it's going to be a wild pitch. No, actually, no, it is not, as Camille is able to block this one. So no advance by the runners. And McMullen will handle this one cleanly. And we'll head to the bottom of the 9th with the score 3-1. So Stu Miller actually came in the regular game. He has 8 saves, so we'll bring him in. So Stu Miller in for the Orioles, looking to close it out. He's had an excellent year so far. 1-2 record though. 1 save, just an ERA of minuscule 0.41. 21 2/3 innings pitched. Just 6 hits allowed in 21 innings. Excellent ratio there. Only 5 walks. Well, 5 walks. That's kind of a lot, but definitely a whip of just about 0.5. A little over 0.5. 13 strikeouts also. So Miller has been very effective this year so far. He'll face Allen, Howard, and Peterson. And it's going to be a range play on Allen. 1-3. And he'll lead. And Blair makes an excellent catch. He has excellent range with a 5 out there to retire Allen. So that'll bring up Howard. 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. And he will strike out again. So the center is down to the last out. Peterson, responsible for the only center run, is up now. He doesn't have to hit a home run here. All he needs to do is get on base and give Epstein a shot, which will probably pinch hit for Epstein, as Epstein has been ineffective all day, striking out 3 times. But first, we'll have to see if Peterson gets on base. And he will not, as Miller strikes him out. And the Baltimore Orioles defeat the Washington Senators by a score of 3-1. So with the win, the Orioles improved to 15-13. And with the loss, the Senators continue their subpar performance at only 10-19. So the Orioles are, I believe, 2 games ahead of their pace, I think. And the Senators are now, I think, 4 games under their pace, as the Senators originally won this game 2-0. So another low-scoring affair, but this time in favor of the Orioles. So let's take a look at the box score. So take a look at the box score. Reichart gets the win. He's 2-2. He's pitched 7 1/3 innings. Allowed just 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. So excellent pitching performance by Reichart. Bertena gets the loss. 5 1/3 innings pitched. 5 hits allowed, 2 runs, both of them earned. 5 walks. Just came back to hurt him. 6 and ERA jumps to 6.12 now. Let's see, for the Orioles, Robinson hit a solo home run. He was 1 for 4. Did score 2 runs also. And Brooks Robinson, 1 for 3 with a run scored. Davey Johnson had an RBI, and so did Etchebarren. For the Senators, not much going on for them as they managed just 4 hits off of Reichart. Peterson was the only blemish there as he hit a solo home run. So, all right, so that is it as the Baltimore Orioles defeat the Washington Senators 3-1. So thank you for joining me. It's been Eric from Higher Ground Gaming, and we'll see you in the game from next will be May 19th. So we'll see what kind of matchup we have there. We'll probably do a National League matchup as we featured an American League matchup here. So thank you for joining me. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye now.